Hi, I'm Scott Word, Principal of Industrial Acquisitions at Rising Realty Partners. In my day-to-day routine, I am responsible for sourcing value-add and core plus multi-tenant light industrial parks. So what you can expect to see when we're evaluating these investment opportunities are multi-tenant business parks, Class B, infill. The buildings themselves will range from 20 to 100,000 square feet. The parks will consist of multiple buildings and could be as small as 100,000 square feet, but could be as large as 500,000 square feet. So another factor that weighs into our interest in the light industrial sector is the tenant diversification. If you really look at the US GDP, 55% of US GDP is comprised by small business, and that is really the fabric of our economy. Those tenants represent every walk of life, from auto repair guys to plumbing supply to air conditioning, you name it, and those guys are probably one of our tenants. And what we've found is that the tenants are very sticky. Even though they may not sign long-term leases, their average tenure in our parks is anywhere from 8 to 20 years. And they generally are very committed to the spaces once they occupy. And for them to go relocate to save a few dollars, it just is not economically feasible. So our focus is on markets that all generally have very similar characteristics. They are high growth markets where we are seeing great population growth, good job growth, strong business fundamentals, pro-business climate and environment. The product that we're focused on is very infill in nature in mature areas, mature markets with really high barriers to entry and no supply side competition. So if you look at the markets that we're playing in, which is basically Texas West and in Northern California, all of those markets exhibit those same characteristics.
My name is John Golden. I'm the Senior Vice President of Investments here at Rising Realty Partners. My job is to make sure all of our underwriting, due diligence, and closings go as smoothly as possible and make sure we're acquiring the best buildings that we want to buy. We here at Rising are bullish on multi-tenant light industrial for a few reasons, primarily as it relates to their comparison to bulk warehouse distributions. First and foremost, there's very little new supply risk with multi-tenant light industrial. All the new construction is primarily bulk distribution warehouse, which means we're not going to have a lot more new competition from better, newer, and more modern buildings in the multi-tenant light industrial space. This is great because that means it limits our new supply coming online, which means we have less competition and can retain our tenants more easily. Two, we're able to achieve higher yields in the multi-tenant light industrial space. That means we're able to acquire buildings at a higher cap rate, and we'll be able to achieve better cash on cash throughout our hold period, regardless of how the capital markets are performing. Number three, shorter lease durations in the multi-tenant light industrial space means we're able to mark our tenants to market more frequently than a large single tenant user. That means better cash on cash for us, better cash flows for our investors, and less waiting around to market our tenants to market. And lastly, we really like multi-tenant light industrial because it has a diverse tenant mix and smaller tenant sizes. That means if any one particular tenant goes out of business, we're able to backfill that space relatively quickly and with relative ease. A lot of tenants in the multi-tenant light industrial space want to get in their suites quickly. They don't have time for months-long build-outs, so that means very little downtime for us. When speaking with the tenants in our portfolio, we found that there are two market characteristics that are most important to them. One, they need ease of access to rooftops nearby, so that means a large population center filled with businesses and residences. And two, means they need to be located near thoroughfares so they can have easy access to the greater metro area, including ports, airports, and other things of that nature.
Hi, I'm Casey Hawk, Executive Vice President Operations at Rising Realty Partners. With my title, I have a lot of different responsibilities, but I primarily focus on oversight and collaboration of the property management and asset management department. At Rising, our overall experience in industrial is vast, spanning multiple business cycles, hundreds of years of experience, and millions of square feet. Just mine alone, coming from Washington State, I managed a portfolio just shy of 5 million square feet of industrial that ranged from MTLI to large box industrial warehouses over 500,000 square feet. If you don't know, most industrial is triple net, meaning the leases require the tenant to cover most everything themselves, except for what's happening on the exterior of the property. But with Rising's huge experience in office and Class A office and the customer service approach, we have really tried to take that approach and put it with our MTLI properties, providing short response times and always starting with a yes. Even though most of the time things are the tenant's responsibility. They need something, we're having conversations with them, they're frustrated. We always try to start with a yes and find a way to meet their needs while still operating the property within the parameters that we've agreed to. Part of managing with a high customer service approach is we want our managers to be on site or very, very near site to make sure that we always have short response times and under 24 hours to all of our tenants' needs. In addition, Rising is really committed to technology and how that can improve the experience